Dear movie friends, welcome back to the Sincerely Your Movie Friend podcast, a very special show where every single cent we made across social media, whether you're watching on YouTube, watching clips on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts, wherever, every single cent we earn is getting donated right back to charity. 100% of it. I'm not keeping a thing. And today we have a very special episode with two creators that I love so much. TWINSAUCE, they're some of the hardest working creators you'll ever meet, some of the nicest creators you'll ever meet, and we have a really great conversation about being content creators, our journeys, and honestly, we just have a great time talking together. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Remember, you watching or listening to this is truly making a difference. So thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the episode.
You guys, I am so excited. I'm here with TWINSAUCE, Luke and Paul, some of the most genuine and nicest creators out there, by the way. I have to tell you guys, I met them at D23 in August, and they were so kind, so welcoming, and that energy is both in real life and through their content, which is honestly my favorite part about y'all's page. So thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Oh my gosh, I remember we were talking right before we got on the call about that when we met right before we got on the Agatha All Along bus or whatever, and I was like, man, because I'd seen your content before, and I remember walking up and saying, oh hey, like I love your content, but then I saw you standing by yourself, and because
your wife
couldn't
be there, right?
Yeah, she
or
wasn't.
Something.
She couldn't go to the. So for
Creator
me, I
Lounge
didn't
or
have a
whatever.
+1 for any of the night events. And, which really kind of handicapped me because Allison is my
Your rock,
my bubble, my rock, my
comfort
buffer.
blanket.
That's the word I was looking for. And so she really helps me be an extrovert, even though I am kind of an extrovert anyway. So yeah, they really got me with that
Bro,
one.
that's why we're there. We're there to help you get out of that bubble.
I mean,
and
it's crazy.
I know we're not like her, but we can help you out a little bit.
Yeah,
I can pull you in a little bit, but it's always so fun to meet people though in real life and to see like how people are the same and also like more than. Because I think sometimes we get locked in this idea of like how creators are kind of in this box that we ourselves as creators put ourselves in, or a niche, if you will. But then to see people outside of that and to get to know them is always so fun. And so meeting people like you was such a delight. But then getting to know you throughout the weekend and be bopping around and anywhere we could, it's really truly a delight. I want to shout back out to you. You are the same as you are online, just maybe less shouty.
Yes, I don't yell at people like I do online.
Although I want you to shout at people when you do your next event that you were telling us about. So
oh yeah, I will. I'll do it. I'll do it to the best of my ability. But yeah, you guys I really can't stress this enough. So like D23 was a massive event for me. It was a dream event for me. It was something like when I first started watching like YouTubers and other creators. Same. It was while they're covering D23 back in like 2012 or whatever, and so that was already a big event for me, and I was so intimidated. Like the imposter syndrome goes so hard at these events. Literally though, up until that moment, I think you guys kind of changed the momentum for me to where it made me more comfortable to talk to people, get to know people, and it's really actually helped me since then. So I can't thank you guys enough.
That means the world to us.
Well, guess what? You do deserve to be there. We're all imposters, and it doesn't even matter. So
yeah,
we're take up space
until we're making it.
That's right. Absolutely, we are,
and
everybody feels the same way. I mean, it really is. Like once you get to know, I'm so grateful for the amount of people that we have gotten to meet in the industry and just around, and people that we've idolized, and then learn.
We're all in the same place.
Yeah, we're all insecure, and we're all just trying to figure it out. And there is a level of fake it till you make it. And even if you feel like somebody has made it, like there's like you're looking at these people like you are like the cream of the crop. It is so hard.
And they will even say, they're like, oh, but this isn't doing well, and this didn't do that great. And you're like,
I still haven't hit this number mark, and I'm like, dude, like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all the same.
We're all the same, but we're also very, very lucky in the sense that we have a really good group of people in our community, whether it's the Disney space, the movie space. It's a really good group of authentic people, and I think when there is a stereotype out there with influencers. Maybe they aren't the nicest people, the most pleasant people to be around.
Disingenuous, this idea. Someone said that recently when they met us. They're like, I was afraid that it was all a facade. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I can dispel that somehow. But I mean, yeah, I control what you see. So there is a level of like, there is a possibility that it could all
A
be
fakeness,
a facade, but I'm so glad that, I mean, in your experience, it was not. So.
Yeah, so just go to show you guys, if you see your favorite Disney creator, go say hello, because they're probably
Yes.
very, very
Please.
excited to see you.
Very true.
So, speaking of just creators, influencers, how did you guys get started with this? Like, what was there a creator that inspired you that you're like, okay, I see what they're doing, I want to do it for ourselves? Like, how did that start for y'all?
That's honestly, it goes way back. So we really got into YouTube back in like about 2010, 2011 and watching creators. So this was still at YouTube's kind of infancy of the influencer. You didn't have a trajectory. It didn't have like a
Monetization
easy,
wasn't really a thing yet.
There was a lot of like,
It was early stages.
it was early stages. And I remember falling in love with a girl named Tessa Violet, who at the time was known as Mika Kitty. And she was really cinematic, had incredible camera work and aesthetics.
And before this, we had dabbled in some music videos or, lip syncing videos, and then just made with Windows Movie Maker when we were in high school. And my dad had encouraged that, and had like bought us Adobe's, not the Pro line, but the next Elements.
Elements is what it was called, but it was like the like consumer products version of Premiere.
So we had dabbled in some things and had a desire to do more cinematic projects, and so to see somebody like Tessa Violet, who wasn't like an amateur filmmaker, making these incredible films with her friends from YouTube was so inspiring.
But I think what inspired us even more than just Tessa, which she was incredibly talented, but was the community that she was around. So like as with YouTube, how it worked is basically you'd find a creator, they had friends, you would start following those friends, those people had friends, and that's kind of how you built a network of who you watched. And so for us, it was like, I was just excited to have like friends that worked, like obviously they weren't my friends, but they felt like your friends in a friend group that was bigger than just one person. And so for us, especially as we started making YouTube videos back in 2012 and publishing them like kind of weekly, and then went into daily vlogging in like 2016 to 2017 and killed ourselves doing that. And then
and did not grow.
Didn't grow.
I mean, I think at the time we started the daily vlog, we had like 2,000 subscribers. And then I think which sounds like nothing, but at the time it still felt like a lot. We'd been doing it for 4 or 5 years, and that felt like an accomplishment in and of itself. But then by the time we finished the daily vlog, I think we were at like 5,000, and that was 2 years later. That gave us a lot of opportunities. Paul was incredibly talented. Paul's Emmy nominated as a video editor. Paul's I know. Paul's incredibly talented and worked in the film industry during the daily vlog. Like, it was crazy to watch his process.
Oh.
But I don't think we had learned the like secret sauce of storytelling.
I agree with that, but I also think I see some people doing exactly what we were doing, and it works. So I did see a video about this recently that was inspiring to me, and it was this guy talking about, he's like, okay, so if you're a creator, sorry, this is kind of a ramble, and I'm ADHD, so I kind of went way off track. But so here's like time, right? It's going linearly, and then you have what people are interested in, and it's all over the place, right? And then you have people creating stuff, and that's all over the place. Like, they're all creating different kinds of things. And you are trying to match up what you're creating with what people are interested at the exact same time, which is incredibly difficult to do. So even though the daily vlog didn't work at that time, doesn't mean it was just at the wrong time. Now, yeah, you had people like Casey Neistat doing it at the time. You had Fun for Louie, some of these others that were
earlier, like all of the
right,
the
and they were doing
British
really well.
vlog team. Yeah,
I do think that they had a better strategy than I did, but but it was like a challenge, and it was very discouraging. After burning out from that, after 2 years, we never missed an upload for 2 years, except for when we were overseas once because we didn't have access to internet. We did get a lot of cool opportunities, but then we really burnt out. And from about end of 2017.
No, middle of 2018. It was April 2018. It was April 2016 to April 2018.
And then we pretty much had a dark year until 2019. So like, I just didn't create anything. I was running my own production company. I was like, I don't have time to work in this. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I was working on the road at the time a lot. So it was just like, we were tired. And then in 2019, I had a buddy that was like, you have to get on TikTok. This is so fun. And we said, that's for kids. Like, when I was daily vlogging, everyone was like, get on Musical.ly. You guys dance. Get on Musical.ly. And I was like, I don't have time.
That kind of goes into the dance story. We had danced on YouTube early on in like the 2011s, 2012s, 2013s. We had danced a little bit, but because of copyright law, like Sony did like a hostile takeover at one point of our channel. Like, they almost took down our channel. Like, it was because they were like, We beat Cake by the Ocean by DNCE. We beat them their music video up because the song
We just danced to
we
it.
choreographed it. We put it up, so we were getting all of
by
the
way.
yeah, a little bit of a flex. But they at the time they would wait like 3 or 4 days or 5 days to upload the music video, and so we just put out a dance to it because it was fun and it's like, whatever.
Honestly, I was so naive. I didn't know what that song was talking
It's
about.
okay.
That's
At
pretty
the
funny.
time that was it's back in the day. So you don't need to admit that, but I mean whatever. Anyway, so we uploaded a song or a dance to that, and then Sony kind of did like a hostile takedown of that one, and that was kind of hard because we got like penalized on our channel, and we were terrified of the little progress we had made that would be taken away. So it kind of like discouraged us from doing that. We did a few,
From Dance at All on
from
the
Dance at
platform,
All. We
yeah.
did a few other things, like people filmed us at a talent show when we put it up, and we did like Good
And those were
Morning
just, like,
from
copyright
Singing in the Rain.
Flagged. They weren't like we didn't get
Sony
penalized for
wasn't
those.
like worried about those.
Yeah.
So or whoever owned the rights, but
Yeah.
that was kind of discouraging. So when Musical.ly was a thing, people were saying you guys would be good at this, and this is like it's legal. Like you can actually like
It's
and
legal.
it's like
legal.
short. Like you guys would be fun. And at the time we did do lip dubs and stuff on our channel too. That was kind
But
of
we
an
were in
era
the thick
thing.
of the daily vlog. There was
That's
like
true.
I had no bandwidth to like add anything.
Yeah, we
else.
should have just
we
killed
were working
the daily vlog.
'cause- I know, honestly, we were both working full-time jobs and
Yeah,
daily vlogging.
it was terrible.
And we were at that point. I had quit my job at the production company after getting Emmy nominated, and then we were on the road with the medical EMR services. So like it was a lot.
Working 12-hour days. Anyway, that all to be said, we burnt out pretty bad, and then in
2019.
late 2019 and then early 2020, we just started like randomly uploading videos to TikTok, which, to be honest, I knew that there was creators, and I knew it was going to be a thing like Vine. I knew it was going to be something like YouTube, and I just was like really banking on YouTube. YouTube was always the dream, and so that was a hard thing to release, and not me, but we both had kind of felt that way.
We talk in the first person a lot because my mom growing up wanted us to be individuals, and so she was like, "No, you can. It's,
You are you.
It's yours. It can be yours." And so, sorry if we talk in the,
So if I talk in the
in
first
singular,
person,
it's usually in the we. It's
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yes.
It's okay.
Anyway, that's lore drop right
lore
there.
drop.
Anyway, yeah. So then TikTok happened, and that
kind of took off for us.
To us, through that, we met some people from a studio locally that were it's like we had been training, kind of on and off throughout our 20s and throughout college.
So for dance, we didn't start dancing until we saw High School Musical in high school, and we were like in a
yeah,
rural
we saw
town
it
in
late
Nebraska.
too. It
yeah.
was like out for a while.
Well,
before we
yeah,
saw it.
that's how old we are. But we did see it, and we said, "Hey, we can do that." But we lived in a rural town. There's nowhere to train dance, and so we just learned from YouTube, learned from
The
Step
internet.
Up, like just whatever we could break down and learn. And then when we got to college, we started training a
Musical
little bit.
theater,
And
kind
then
of, yeah.
at 27, once we got into the TikTok sphere, we saw the kind of the profitability of dance, and then started training like full out.
Well, not even the profitability. It was like this could actually be a job. Like this is actually happening.
Yeah.
And we at this point had given up. I think sometimes you have to give up in order to make something make sense,
Yeah,
But
for sure.
but we had given up in 2018. We're like, this is never gonna happen. Let's just do it for fun. So the few videos that we posted in 2018 and 2019 were just travel vlogs of us going to New York City or doing whatever. But then that didn't really do anything. And now though, I didn't look. One of those vlogs from that era of us giving up is our highest viewed vlog.
Oh,
I know.
which
Really?
one?
It's the one from Long Island.
That Long Island video.
That was a
We
mistake.
missed. Our
Our-
flight got canceled,
our
so we
flight got
just
canceled.
rented a car and went up to Long
so it's
Island.
chaos.
It was
Chaos.
chaos. It's so
Nice.
fun.
Literally.
Anyway, regardless, that video is now one of our most viewed vlogs, which is crazy.
LOL.
On YouTube.
It was titled well, I guess.
I guess.
Maybe you'll watch
but
after
yeah,
this.
yeah. I don't know about that.
It's not worth watching. I don't think it's a
we
very
look
good
so
vlog.
different. At that
I know.
point. But yeah, so then we started dancing and then started training really seriously, and we just started doing some musical theater. We actually like auditioned for some professional gigs and got them, and that was fun and that was cool. So we really saw a lot of profitability in what we were doing, and that was exciting. And so that's kind of what brought us to where we are now. Someone was like, we had a manager one time that was like courting us to like represent us, and he was like, "Where are you going? Like, what's your vision?" I'm like, at this point, I have no idea.
My
'cause
vision
every
is
time
to
I-
wake up tomorrow.
yeah, to wake up tomorrow, because I was like, every time I try to put a vision down, it never happens.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to be YouTubers, and look, now we're like Instagram and TikTokers.
The only verified account we have though is YouTube, which is crazy.
Yeah. Did you guys get verified back in like December too? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so random. Like a bunch of us did.
Me too. Me too. I
Did
was
you?
like, I have
Yeah.
26,000 subscribers. I'm nowhere near the threshold to get this blue check mark.
but
I mean, might as well.
I'll take it.
Might as
But
well.
I'll
I
take
was
it.
like, I'm
yeah.
not gonna say no to it. Yeah, YouTube's always been a challenge for me too. I'm still trying to figure it out, and I still really don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of a miracle I made it this far with YouTube, but that's definitely one of my goals. Is I because kind of like you guys, like you growing up, you think of YouTube when you're creating, right? And that's always like the goal. Like I can't lie, I would love to have that like silver plaque on my wall, right?
Oh yeah,
that's
dude,
like,
it can happen. It'll happen for you. Just
it will happen.
don't give up. I have one right here. You can see it.
There
Silver
you go.
plaque, man.
There you go.
But we had to lean into shorts.
Yes.
That's the only way we got it. That was how we. Of course, we're.
But honestly, what I just did is I just started whenever I posted to anything. I have 6 platforms, 7 that I post to every time I post. I just like if I post it, it's.
But do you? This is more of a question. I don't know. Yeah, podcasting question. This is just what we talk about as creators. But do you edit inside TikTok or inside a separate app? Do you?
Both. It depends what the video is.
Gotcha.
If so I've been really like if it's my timeline videos where I'm screaming at my wife, or any like a skit or like a bit or whatever, I don't edit in app. I edit. I use InShot a lot. I'm not very great at Adobe platforms. I'm trying to learn. The only one I know is for podcasting. But so I use InShot a lot. I'm starting to try to use CapCut. But for TikTok, I've recently started doing a little bit more like casual reviews where it's less like green screen and it's less like gimmicky. It's literally just me talking about my review for the movie. And so that all I just film it through TikTok. I put the overlays through TikTok, and that's really the extent of what I'll edit through the app.
I honestly think that TikTok has one of the best video editors.
Yeah, and
really
especially in app. My
It's
biggest pet
very
peeve
easy.
as a dancer is that when you export, it's about 5 frames off.
Yes,
And
that's true.
I am so peeved when dances are 5 frames off. Even if I upload a video that I've edited off platform and upload it, it will off sync the audio 5 frames. So what I have to do is when I post it, I'll post it to everything else, and then I'll go to TikTok and I'll go into CapCut. I'll zoom in, delete the first 5 frames of audio, scoot it back, export, then upload to TikTok.
It's a mess.
What's crazy is that all just like made sense to me.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm glad because people will look at Paul like, what?
And I'm like,
why?
because dancing is so specific to beats that if you're off 5 frames, like 5 frames is not that much when you think of a 24 frames per second, but it is when you're dancing.
When it sings to timing.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Sorry, that was a really.
go ahead. You were talking about editing and your process and how YouTube was like kind of the main goal.
Yeah, like YouTube. And by the way, you guys don't have anything to ever apologize to me in this little yap session we got going on here. I'm notorious for talking and talking and talking and talking. So you're in the right place.
Good.
But so like I remember I tried doing like vlogs a little bit too, back in like the 2010s. Late 2010s. I didn't start till like 2017 trying to do YouTube. I tried when I was in like a freshman in high school, and I got scared, and I had like 1 view, and I was like, that's it, and then the account went private. Yeah, I tried doing that, and it didn't really work. I mean, my creator process, it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So at first I was an actor. I did theater throughout high school. And then I was like, as much as I love theater, and I do love it, I would rather be a little bit smaller in the sense of like how I perform. And I knew I couldn't keep up professionally in a vocal area or a dance.
Yeah.
I don't have the dance ability to make it professionally. I could fake it, but
Right.
And so I was like, I would rather transfer to the screen, to like film, TV. And so I started training, and that was a weird process because people don't realize acting on stage, acting on screen,
So different.
very, very different. Very different experiences. Everything has to be smaller. Everything's more intimate. And so I spent kind of years in classes figuring it out, and then I signed with my first agent. I did 1,000 auditions. You get 1,000 no's before you get a yes. I did a film called 12 Mighty Orphans with Luke Wilson, Martin Sheen, Vanessa Shaw, just Wayne Knight, just Robert His last name's blank. I'm blanking out his last name, which is probably the meanest thing I could do and the most insulting thing I can do. But it was an incredible cast. And I was supposed to be an extra for one day, and they just kind of was like, hey, do you want to actually be a featured background? So you'll be, in shots with the main cast. You'll be there for a month. You'll have a name. You won't just be background orphan. You'll be Daniel.
How old are you at this point?
I was, this was actually 2019. I was 21.
Okay. Wow, nice.
Yeah, I think
that's exciting.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it truly like intensified my love for film and just the process and seeing everything. Because like you can read about it, you can watch YouTube videos about it, but once you're there and you're seeing how everything is done, you're seeing the crew and you're seeing all the work that gets put into it, and that's really like, honestly, that's probably where like my positivity on my page comes from. I really try not to be negative about movies. Not because like I want to seem like I'm kissing, studios' butts or anything like that, or I'm glazing Disney or whatever. It's just because like you see how much work goes into it. And I saw like a bunch of like a crew of 10 people move a light, and that took like 2 hours just to get a different angle in a classroom. And it's like you see the blood, sweat, and tears.
I was that
like,
person at one point.
Yeah, and it's like you see the blood, sweat, and tears, and you can't like. I just don't feel right being negative because it's still such an accomplishment. Regardless
That's what's so hard
of whether,
for me about a lot of things. Like with right now, we see a lot of things with like Snow White and I didn't see it, but I will say like all the press around it was fascinating to me, but more because I was upset, I think, with the majority of the people that were unsung heroes of the film, the artists who did a lot of the Seven Dwarfs and the people that worked behind the scenes, the people who lit the green screen areas. These are incredibly large groups of people.
The digital artists, like it's just insane.
Like, they put so much time and effort and energy. Even think of like people who are scheduling the day of shooting. Like there's just like so many layers to it that they put so much work into this proposed idea that they've been told is going to be like a knockout hit no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's Snow White. You think initially like, oh, Snow White, it's money in a bag. It's easy.
But then to see it be overshadowed by someone's actions, which I think is just. It's just so telling too. It's just so hard. Yeah.
And you know what? That movie, Snow White, actually, like production wise, was beautiful. Like the sets were beautiful, the costuming was beautiful. I thought the visuals were great, effects were great.
I didn't see it still.
It really is.
It's going on Disney Plus soon.
It's not like it is going on Disney Plus soon. It's not. I think like even the changes they made weren't, negative changes. I thought it all fit. It's just, I think people were just really upset with change. And it's really hard. And we can get into some of that too in a little bit, but
sorry.
No, you're good.
Derailed.
You're good. But just to kind of finish like my story, I guess. So I was an actor, and it was what I really wanted to do. It's still what I really want to do, but I couldn't. I was starting to struggle with getting past just the audition, the self tapes, and getting through. And so someone was like, "Oh, TikTok, that you could be good at it," and so from 2019 to 2021, I tried it. I tried a few different accounts. Things that, like, the first one shot up to 50,000 followers really quick, but it was random and it was kind of gimmicky. My professional career is also a social media manager. Like, I work full-time as a marketing manager. And so I was just doing all the things that I knew would be a good strategy, but there wasn't community there. And it wasn't really authentic. And so I let that account die. And then I tried a couple other things, but I was so afraid to talk about movies because I didn't want to. I wanted to use it as a way to get into the industry, but not ruin my chances in the industry.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's like, well, how do I like? Because I knew there was going to be times where even though I'm positive, like I wouldn't like a movie as much or whatever.
Right. And to be authentic, you have to share that side too, which is, I mean, you need both. It's hard.
You got to be fair. And I didn't really know how, because now I kind of have it figured out to where everything I can talk about is authentic and true, and it doesn't have to lean on negative. But I didn't know, like, that could happen. And so it took a little bit, but then Spider-Man No Way Home happened, and I just, like, I couldn't, like, the floodgates opened. Like, I couldn't hold it back anymore. And haven't looked back since.
I love that. That's amazing. That was, like, your first, I think I saw you before that.
Potentially.
I'm
Was
trying to
that
think.
your viral moment?
Oh gosh, no, my viral
'Cause, like,
moment was
I thought it was Harry Potter. I thought I saw something of you yelling at your wife about Harry Potter
So-
order or something.
this was actually so the Spider-Man No Way Home stuff was a couple years before that.
Oh, okay. So maybe I was late to the game.
It's like, well, it's interesting because like I didn't really like the yelling at my wife thing really took it to the next level. Like I obviously went viral, but it was in the phase of like, pointing at the screen and like text.
Yeah.
Like it was the information that was going viral. It wasn't me or my creativity or anything. And about when TikTok switched to like minute-long videos or how you got paid, I was like, okay, well, if this is something I'm serious about, I have to figure something else out
To keep
And
people's attention for
I
a
have
longer
to
time.
like I have to kind of go through a new barrier and really now make it me and try to put myself more into it and my ideas. And I went through like a 4-month period of just where like nothing I did could crack like 300 views. Like I felt like I was genuinely in TikTok jail, and
Yeah.
Instagram wasn't doing anything for me. Like I just was stuck, and I had like. You saw like glimpses of what I would do. Like I still did like Pixar timeline videos, and they would do really well, but everything else would just tank. And then Spider-Man 2 was coming out on the PlayStation, and I yelled at my wife about how like you can't disturb me. This is very important. If Spider-Man 2 was thrown off a cliff and you were falling off a cliff, I would save Spider-Man 2. Like this is everything. And that video did really well.
That's the video I saw.
I've seen. I've
Yeah,
seen that video.
That was the first time I ever yelled at Allison, and then that video did really well. And then the next day I was like, okay, I gotta
poor
see if this
Allison.
is like a thing. And so I went back to the Pixar timeline because that worked. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the Pixar timeline. And at this point, like videos had to be a minute and 30 seconds, right?
Right.
Like you couldn't like go longer. I don't know when that change happened, but you couldn't go longer if I wanted to also use it on Instagram.
Right, you were stuck between that
And then
minute,
YouTube,
minute
yeah, was a
30 that you
minute.
needed.
Yeah, and so like I
And
made
YouTube
the
is still-
Pixar, I made the Pixar timeline video, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how to edit this. Like I can't do it any faster. I didn't know it. Now I can do it in 30 seconds.
Right,
Back
right.
then I didn't know it as well, and so I was like, I can't do this any faster. And I'm like cutting it and cutting it and cutting it to death. And I was like, wow, what if I just speed it up? I'm just gonna speed it up. And I thought it was really funny. And Allison
hilarious.
laughed while I was editing. And I was like, oh, that's it. Because
That's it.
to make my wife laugh is not as easy as you think it would. Most of the time when I'm yelling at her and I'm saying things, she's like straight face, no emotion.
Deadpan.
But every time she laughs, I know I have something.
You got something there.
Yeah, and so I posted, and then like my app was broken. Like it would post, and in 10 minutes it said I had 20 views, but then it said I had 30,000 likes, and this is like 10 minutes, and I was like, wait a minute, something's happening here.
Right.
And then
30,000 likes and 30 views.
yeah, it was
Nice.
like it literally was
That sounds
broken,
like a
and people
glitch.
were texting me. They're like, your TikTok is broken. Like something's like, what is happening?
That's
here?
not right,
So
yeah.
it wasn't just on my end; it was on other people.
Right.
Like other people I knew were
Oh,
seeing
wow.
like the
Oh,
view
so it wasn't
count.
just your account.
No, like
Oh.
it literally like I don't know.
Broke the app.
It literally, and again, I'm sorry for my cough, but it literally
Okay.
did like break it for everybody, and it shot up to like 15 million, which I know there's videos out there that have like 100 million.
No, but that's a big
to me, I
deal.
was like, I
Huge.
couldn't even comprehend that,
Yeah.
And then it did the same thing on Instagram. And
Yeah.
from there, I was like, okay, I kind of am figuring out now
formula.
my voice as a creator, and then
Yeah.
everything changed. I remember in that like those videos like on Instagram shot me from like 10,000 to now where I am with 176, and it's just
That's incredible.
Huge.
I started actually being able to work with brands, and I
That's
guess
huge.
really I have to thank my wife.
Yeah.
Thanks
She
for letting me
laughed.
yell at you. You changed our lives.
Do you ever get, that is a question I have. Do you ever get comments that are like, why do you let him talk to you like that? Do you ever?
There was like, the Harry Potter video specifically where I was yelling at her, and then I was doing some Marvel stuff. Like people would go on Twitter and like post it and be like, she should divorce him and everything. And I was
no.
like, you guys don't even realize that some of the stuff is like her idea too.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, say this. Hey, say this next.
I mean, that's a good partnership right there. You have a good support system, and also like you have fun playing off of it, and it's like because it is I think the stereotype of like this, not stereotype, but like this funny idea of a passionate husband trying to like mansplain something to his wife that she probably already knows, and then there's like this idea of him being
It's relatable.
It's relatable,
Yeah.
but it's also like I think it's just funny, like the whole
like-
idea of you explaining a Pixar
It's
timeline.
taking
like
the-
that's funny.
It's taking something so simple in a lot of ways of like that mansplanation of a fandom, right? And it's taking that to a extreme, which is funny because comedy in itself is exaggeration of reality, right? So it's like taking reality and making it, or putting it in a different context, or something that you can relate to as an audience. So I think that that's where, like, I mean, not to just analyze, but I think it works so well because of that. Like, it just makes sense.
But then I also like that you don't just do it to her. Like, even in some of your content, it feels like you're doing that to us as the audience.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah,
think is
that's
really
actually
fun.
that's a recent change I made. I started, I bought a whiteboard, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start yelling at them about everyone.
Yeah, everybody, the audience.
I'm just gonna start yelling at everybody, and so it could be something like that. They can send to someone else, so it's
Right,
like
exactly,
they're
shareable.
yelling
This
at
is how
them
I
through my
feel.
voice.
Yeah.
which is starting to work too, because I know, like, Allison, like, the poor thing, we did 100 of those videos, I think, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. And it was at the point where she did have to, like, sit there for, like, minutes and, like, 5 minutes as I, like, try to work through it. And I was trying to, like, I still was trying, because you still have to change things.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's, like, for Instagram specifically, I think that's why some creators get, their videos do really well, but they don't necessarily grow anymore.
You have to continue to change that model
You have to
or
continue
evolve
to change it. And for me, like, and it's not like it's not a perfect system. Like, so for me, if you look at my page, I have really great growth, but maybe my videos don't perform as consistently as someone who does have the same growth. And I think it's because it is like I'm always throwing something different, But
Which I think is important. That's how we grow. I think that the biggest I think this is something we've dealt with too. Is the hardest part about keeping an audience engaged is
Staying the
an
same.
evolution.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Evolve.
What does somebody say about YouTubers? The ones that stick around are the ones who reinvent themselves every year, because there's this idea is like, yeah, you can become stagnant, and yeah, the same.
And
Maybe
I mean,
100,000 people might stick around if you're like a mega creator, and then but then slowly it'll dwindle away, because if you're not evolving, if you're not figuring out new ways to explain information, then what brings them back?
Well, I think
keeps them
for like dance specifically, we struggle because it's like even some of my dearest friends just dance, and it's like, okay, I love that, but I love you. Like, why? And I'm speaking this at myself. What are you doing to help me get to know you?
Yeah.
Like, because right now I don't know who
Beyond
you
a
are, and I'm tired of seeing you dance. Now that's not to be mean. That's to be like, I want to see more of you. Now for me, I think we struggle because we'll do that. We'll try to show more of ourselves. We'll show our love of travel. We'll try to show our love of anything else. And it's like our Legos. It's like, I love that, but it doesn't perform that well. Well, should that stop me? No. Like, I would rather be in a constant state of evolution where someone can get to know me and then continue to throw in dance. What we've done for the evolution for us this year is we love like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like, I love those eras of dance, of music, of those types of things. So this year we said, let's invest in some clothing. Let's like lean in to these decades and play to those strengths, to those decades that we love so much. And
we've gotten a lot of support and
so much
from that,
support.
which has been
I mean, people
insane.
hated the stash. They hated that we grew our hair out. But then the ones that did show up, the numbers got better. And it was like, okay, well, this is different. It's
and
new.
they stayed
It's
higher. Like,
yeah.
it was crazy. The engagement had been stagnant for so long.
We were growing, but we would stay the same on the
like,
view counts.
View counts would stay the same, but then it was like, we're growing, thousands of people, but then our view counts aren't growing with them. But then when we started investing in these things that we are passionate about genuinely, it was crazy to see the support that we got from our current audience, and then also a new audience that expanded. We exploded when we were in Japan. With a Japanese audience. Today I was looking on TikTok.
And Brazil.
Like Brazil. Like, we have a lot of Brazilians. We were looking at our analytics, and we've never been, US is always the highest, but then analytically speaking, we were like, oh, Japan is beating out the US in this, at this very moment, and then the US would take over again, and then it was like, oh, now Brazil is beating the US and Japan is beating the US. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
We've never had an international audience. But the thing that we are realizing is, with dance, we were always fighting virality. You're fighting this idea of being, how early can I be to a sound that's going to do well? But then you're constantly scouring the internet for, like, what is this, like, the hit? Where's the the Cowboy Carter? Where's what's Beyonce's new song? You know, like how to be on
And
top
how
of that
quickly
stuff.
can I be on top of it?
And yeah, how quickly, and you want to be on the front end, so it's familiar enough that people will stick around and watch it, and it won't be a completely new audio. But then there'll be songs that we'll choreograph that are like a nobody from indie song that we like just connected with, and we really loved the choreography we created for it. But then I won't do anything because you're fighting familiarity. So we decided to like nix the whole concept and say, well, let's just work with familiarity and nostalgia. Like what? We like nostalgia, so
Yeah,
let's just
there's
like
nothing wrong
lean
with
into
it.
nostalgia.
Nothing
Because
wrong
it's
with it
also
at all.
not something people are hearing 10 times that day.
Right.
They're hearing it, you know, they've heard it in the past and now it's come up on your timeline.
And they stay because it's so familiar. It's like it's comfort.
Right.
It's comfort.
It's
music.
comfortable. Yeah. Now our engagement isn't at the level it used to be, where like per view and get to like ratios or whatever aren't the same. But I think that part of that is an older audience. I think some of it is that they're staying for the nostalgia. They're not necessarily staying for you. Some do. But I think at first it's just getting someone to stay long enough that they can see your face long enough.
But again, it's the same idea as what you were doing to with the Pixar timeline thing. They're staying for nostalgia. What is he gonna say? Like what? There is like this like storyline that we're from. It's familiar, but there is something that I want to know what he's gonna say. I want to see it. I want to know what he's gonna say. That was me with Harry Potter. Like I know Harry Potter backwards and forwards. I listen to the audiobooks probably all the way through about once every 2 weeks. Like they're just always on somewhere in the background. And in my workouts, I would listen to.
But
Harry
only the
Potter.
Stephen Fry version.
We love
Only
the Stephen Fry
Fry.
version.
Only
I
Stephen
know.
Fry.
Iconic. I think that's the one I grew up listening
Yeah.
with.
It's the
Probably
one-
it was the one on CD, but it's the British version, and you can no longer purchase it in the U.S.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
have
sad.
to buy
Jim Dale is
Jim
the
Dale,
one.
which I do like Jim Dale's version, but
That's
I like
not
Stephen
here or
Fry
there, Paul.
better.
That's
I
not
had-
here or there.
I had the Half-Blood Prince on like the cassette audio tape. That I would listen to every night before going to bed. I think we're about to transition into
I'm so
movies
sorry.
and Harry Potter. No. You guys gave me the perfect segue. But really quick before we do, I just want to say one of
Yes.
my favorite videos you guys did that speaks to what you're saying about like having to like race the trends and what's like
Yeah.
current and all that. I remember watching. I watched it like 5 times. I loved it. I just thought it was so chaotic and fun. But I remember when you guys bought the Deadpool and Wolverine costumes, and one of them came late, and the other one didn't, and you guys were upset about it. But then
chaos.
it finally came, but you had a flight, so you were rushing to film it. I love that.
We were
it made me
Flying
so
to Europe
happy.
that day. We literally had an hour.
3 weeks.
So we
yeah.
ran to the UPS store, picked it up, came back. Luke figured out how to get the Deadpool costume on, and we filmed it before leaving for the airport.
Pure chaos.
Like we were
did-
almost, we
and
almost
did
missed that
post-
flight.
I was so proud of us because usually we would have just like posted the dance and been like, "Oh yeah, it came just in time." But we actually showed the process, and I was filming like trying to figure out how to put it on, and like this idea of Paul running to the UPS store so I could make dinner before we had to fly.
At lunch.
It was lunch.
because we were trying to leave it.
I loved it
crazy.
so much. Okay, let's talk
Sorry.
Harry
I
Potter.
love it.
Let's talk Harry Potter. Let's go into the movie
Yeah.
era.
Careful.
My side of the world.
Yes.
I gotta ask the obvious question. What are y'all's favorite Harry Potter movies? What are y'all's least favorite Harry Potter movies?
Oh. Okay, so this is so hard.
This is tough.
I love. Okay, so I love Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 as a singular film. So like, if you
As you
watch them,
should.
you have to watch them back to
As
back.
you should.
Only way to do it. But I also really love Prisoner of Azkaban, and I also really love Order of the Phoenix. But
I think we watched through them recently when we were building the Hogwarts castle, the Lego castle, the big one. We watched through all the way through 5 because we
just started
that's how
it.
long it took.
Yeah.
But when we were watching, we got to Order of the Phoenix, and Paul goes, "I think this might be my favorite." And I think that the thing about Order that you like is you like to hate Umbridge.
I
Paul
love
loves
to hate Umbridge.
and so
I love
like,
to
as-
hate her.
She's a great character to hate. Without
Yeah.
She's a great character.
But in the book, I particularly love that.
again, we're not talking about the book.
I know, no. But I love in the book how long that the finale is. So like when they get to the
first
finale,
scene.
I mean, in the film, it is like you have already kind of hit the peak of your climax. You have
There's
a
no
little
really
bit more.
like they don't really go through like the obstacle of going through the
No.
ministry. Yeah, you're right.
And I like love that part in the book. And so like when it was kind of cut out, it's fine. Like I understand why in the film you had to get to the point, you know. But I that book is so special to me.
Yeah.
That like I love the film, but the book I
Yeah.
love.
And look, this is
I
the
think-
exciting part about having like a Harry Potter series. Like I know it is very recent, but
Yes!
we
No, I
probably
know!
will
I'm so
have, like,
excited!
3 episodes dedicated to the Battle of the Ministry alone, which is
Yeah.
really fun.
I'm
Finally
so excited.
I also really want some more just like life at Hogwarts stuff. it's the same problem. Somebody was just saying this about One Piece. I'm watching through One Piece right now. I know, kill me, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it right now. But the thing is even somebody online was saying this, and I thought this the same way, is that it is so long. Like, it is such a long series, but there is still so little downtime with the characters. Sanji and Zoro washing dishes. Somebody was like, I just wish we had more of this, of them just like existing.
Yeah.
Because
On the ship,
just in between things. Give me a down day where it's just them hanging out.
See, I'm not that way. Please
Luke
don't do that.
hates that.
I hate that.
But I want that at Hogwarts. I want that type of that. I don't know why I brought up One Piece, but that type of like just in the common room doing your homework, stuff that we got in the books that we never got in the films.
I think that is a big part though of like the Harry Potter, books, is that it is the part where you remember that you're growing up with these characters and they're growing up and they're going through, even though they are in the Wizarding World, they are going through things that you can relate to. And I do think that is something that's not in the movies. Like, you get little bits of it with like Harry and Cho, but there's so many like different dynamics that would be so much fun to explore. And I mean, you could really make Harry Potter like, yes, it is going to be this big fantasy saga, but there's still episodes where it can feel like maybe a new generation of Degrassi or whatever. Like,
exactly.
Just with wands.
Well, especially
just
because
with wands.
Especially because you have like in what is it in book? I think it's book 5 or 6. Harry's just a pill. Like, it's like, bruh, grow up. But also, it's like, that's your age, so it makes total sense that you're a pill. Like. I don't know. I just find it fascinating.
Even in Deathly Hallows, he's kind of a pill. But he also is a Horcrux, so
that's a little bit more justified. I mean, I can't wait to see like Ron just go through his insecurities. I mean, he's so like back and forth, especially with Quidditch involved, and like
I know.
Weasley is our king, and like the chance and the transition. But then the next year he sucks again, and then he has to build his confidence up. It's so
and
much fun.
It
is so much fun.
Felix Felicis, when he has to, he fakes giving, when Harry fakes giving Ron Felix Felicis. Like, I want to see that stuff, because Ron's character arc is actually kind of like snubbed in the movies, not as much as Jenny's. Jenny, give me Jenny. Give me a good. Okay, but I have to tell you mine, because Paul told you his. I will say that yours is order. Mine is for sure Prisoner of Azkaban, and I think it's because I think the direction it went, the color palette. I love the time turner, and I know that gives plot holes, but I love the werewolf idea. We've been to both Japan and London's backlot tours, and so to see the actual animatronic that was supposed to be worn by a human that was going to be the wolf, like that is, and they did use it for like potential some scenes.
I don't think it ever made it.
I think it was mostly CGI, but still to be able to see all of that, I love magical creatures, and so the idea that we get like this werewolf, and that we get to see him in more of a werewolf, I think, environment. Whereas like in the Battle of Hogwarts and stuff, what's his name? The other what is his name? The other werewolf that's on Voldemort's team. He caused
oh gosh.
What is his name?
It starts with an F.
I have the Lego man over there.
Anyway, we know who we're talking about. The guy who bites Bill.
Yep.
And
he also
Greyback. That's it.
Oh, it does not start
Fenrir.
with I'm
Fenrir Greyback. It's Fenrir.
Fenrir
Greyback. You're right.
Okay.
But when we just get like this man that's like morbid with Lupin, we actually get to see his transformation, which I think is I always love that. And I also think that the Shrieking Shack is one of my favorite like settings. I just love how they visualized it. I love all of the like dark, gloomy stuff. I love the Dementors.
I do love how we got Fantastic Beasts, but we didn't get a Marauders. Like,
yeah, I'm so mad about that.
I just want a Marauder
stuff.
stuff.
Should have been. That's what
I know.
It should have been. But,
Go tell us that story. Come on.
It's okay. It's okay. I
know.
It does stink that the redeeming part of Fantastic Beasts was okay. Well, I am excited to see the famous Dumbledore battle that we also still never got.
No, I was so okay. Close. We did some press for that, which was one of our first big brand deals was advertising Secrets of Dumbledore, and we had such
what an
concepts.
iconic.
They gave us like they wanted us to really dance to like Hedwig's theme, and we did that dressed as Dumbledore and Newt, but kind of like casually cosplayed, and then it was very like modern and very like flowy and fun, and it was great choreography. They boosted it, and it did 16 million views. organically, because they boosted the same our second video, which we used cinematic technique to like show,
which is a
us,
better
like,
video.
It's a better video, but it's us like standing by a bus stop and then a car driving by, and then
The other one person shows up, and then you walk past a pole, and we change outfits. Like
Yeah, we
it's
changed that.
It's
It
full
was
like CGI.
incredible.
It was fun.
and it did
That's
I think
so
2 million
cool.
views when they boosted it, but. I knew they boosted it at the same time and the same amount of money behind it, but the dance one obviously was, I guess, more of its time, and so then the algorithm took it and was like, oh, people actually enjoyed this. They did it. But
It still is kind of sad because
they did remove comments though, because it was obviously J.K. Rowling even at that time and even now we get a lot of anytime we do anything Harry Potter related we get some backlash, which I totally get people's frustration, but my childhood nostalgia is like.
too great. I'm sorry.
It's so heightened that it's hard for me.
But
to
I've never been a person to divorce, or I've always divorced like the artist from the art. Like if a piece of art makes me feel a certain way, I'm not going to marry that to the person that made it. Like while yes, I do think it's important to know that there's a parallel there. Obviously, they're two pieces. Like my experience with art, when you go to an art museum, you're not necessarily worried about what Van Gogh did in his off time.
Right.
I
I'm not
don't know.
worried about.
I think it is like
I don't know. I get frustrated with that a little bit.
It's a complicated, I think, storyline, and I think that or complicated thing to do, and I think that it has to be a personal thing for everybody to decide for themselves what they want to do with that.
Yeah.
And I think that I respect people who are like, no, I don't want to do anything with Harry Potter. I get that. And then I just love it so much that it's hard for me to stop. Like the story itself. I love Ron, Harry, and Hermione. I also think the story of redemption.
We didn't watch or see. We didn't know anything about Harry Potter until we went to college. And when we went to college, we were homeschooled growing up in a small town in north central Nebraska. The school there wasn't. I don't want to say wasn't great, but my mom didn't like it, so she homeschooled us because of it. And so we got through school, went to college, and that's a big transition from being a homeschooled kid that only had ever done like community college online courses to like in-person college. And when we did that transition, that's when Harry Potter was introduced to me. So in a lot of ways, I think my emotional ties to Harry Potter are because I felt connected to Harry in this. Obviously, it's not the same in any stretch of the word, but it was very much his journey into a new world that was scary and different, and like you felt like an outsider a little bit, and then growing into that and seeing that this person can grow and achieve great things meant that. And I know that's so cheesy to say, but in the moment you're freaking out, like as a freshman in college, like I'm trying to figure out life, and then my RA was like, "You've never seen Harry Potter? Let's watch Harry Potter," and I was in love. It was like
Let me
so
give you this piece really quick.
powerful.
Let me just tell you a story.
Yeah,
I
tell
love
you a
that.
story.
It's all gonna be okay,
and it's all gonna be okay.
You're gonna hit trials and tribulations, but it's gonna be alright.
Yeah,
It could be worse.
School's
You
gonna
could be
yeah.
running away from a
dark
20-foot
wizard.
basilisk. It could
Yeah,
be worse.
exactly. It could be worse.
Berkan, what's your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, what?
My favorite. Okay, so it's funny because first of all, let me say my hot take real quick.
Yeah,
Give a hot
It's
take.
not
I love a
necessarily a
hot
hot take about the movies themselves, but
Sure.
it's about when somebody tells you when there's a famous franchise that's based off a book, what's the number one piece of advice people give you?
Do it well.
The number
Follow
one
the
thing
book.
I always heard was read the book first,
Oh yeah.
right? I hate that advice. I hate it with
I
every
do too.
little
Same.
bit of me because it's
I
like,
prefer to watch the movie first. And then
yes,
I'll read
watch the
book.
movie first and then
Yes.
read the books because your love for the movie is going to be enhanced by the book. But if you read
Yes.
the book first and then you watch the movie, most people
Yes.
just end up disappointed.
Yep.
So why would that be your advice to me? Is to be disappointed?
Did you read the books before you saw the movies?
The only one I read the book first was Deathly Hallows.
Really?
That was the only one.
Which, to be honest, that makes sense because it was like you needed to know, and the spoilers were going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Well, because I remember I was in the 7th grade when Deathly Hallows came out. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
when
But-
Deathly Hallows
so,
came out,
like,
the
that
part
was,
2,
like-
we were in college.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and so like Half-Blood Prince had like come out, and like I watched it, and then I was like, I can't wait till July 2011 for Deathly
Right.
Hallows Part 2 to come out. Like I know Part 1's coming out before, but like I can't do that. I will go insane. So I read it. I read it probably like 8 times in between Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows.
It's so good.
So
I
good.
read Deathly Hallows, and then I went back to the first book and
Yeah.
Yes.
continued through. And
love
that
it.
truly
At the end-
just sent me to a level of fandom that I probably will never experience again.
Yeah.
That's what we say too. Like I'm like I would love to have another Harry Potter, but I just don't think there is one. Like I have not yet had that.
Yeah.
Someone said Star Wars. Like they're like get into Star Wars. Like you'll have a similar reaction. But I have tried. I was tainted. My name's Luke. So growing up, everybody was like,
yeah, first thing anyone will say to you.
Yeah. Every time. So I think I had like I hate this guy, and then I watched the movies and I was like finally later because I had refused to because I was whatever. My name is Luke. But then finally watched them later and I was like, oh, Luke's actually a good guy, and they were like, yeah, that's what we're trying to say, and I was like, whatever, okay. But then
The only context you have is Luke.
So I never really got to. I knew the whole time that who
you never
Anakin
got to,
was.
You never
I
got
never.
To see, and that's why I don't know. I get a lot of heat on the internet to this day. I posted that video like a year ago, one of them, and I still get comments about it. Where I always say like honestly, if I'm watching Star Wars for the first time, I just start with Phantom Menace and go on because I personally think the journey of Anakin following that and then like knowing the secret before Luke is more exciting than the 1.5 movies of not knowing Luke is Vader's son, but really you do know because all of the just basic movie script foundational
elements are there.
skills are in the script that like like if Obi-Wan is talking about how he trained Anakin and then Anakin mysteriously died, but you don't see it, he's gonna be tied in somewhere. And so like I can't unsee it. And so I think the journey of Anakin is a lot more heartbreaking and it's a longer journey with it. I think you appreciate it more.
If you know the outcome of it.
Yeah, like Vader's sacrifice at the end means so much more when you've been there since the beginning, in my opinion.
Right.
And George Lucas said in 2015, you're supposed to watch it 1 through 6, so that's all I need. And then people are like, well, George Lucas was wrong.
Well,
okay.
Well, but he made it. He made it.
But yeah, so with that being said, my favorite Harry Potter movies, I actually love Goblet of Fire. I will always love Goblet of Fire. I know a lot of people don't like Goblet of Fire, the movie. It's rushed. It's whatever. I get it. I love that movie.
I love it.
I like it because it's such a diversion from the formula that we've seen so far. So like when you're watching the films, especially when I was watching them in college for the first time, it was such a breath of fresh air. Like you are going through school year. Mm-hmm. It's a school year, but it's a very different school year. Back to school year. And I liked the diversion from that visually because it broke up the.
I want to hear what he has to think about it, though.
Sorry.
No. We go back to nostalgia, and I agree with you. Like I do love that aspect of the movies, and for me, like the Goblet of Fire was one of like the first like major movie experiences I had, where I was like,
I love that.
Where my dad like pulled me out of school to go watch it in theaters. And I went to go see it with my mom again, and that was one of the first like movies I was like heavily anticipating going to the theaters because before that I was like in the 2nd grade when that came out. Before that I was like a movie would come out and be like, oh, the movie's out, we can go, and I was like, okay, great. And then before Goblet of Fire, my first like big movie experience was Revenge of the Sith, and I like fell in love with just going to the movies with that, and so Goblet of Fire was like the next big release. I mean, I love the era I grew up in, by the way, with Revenge of the Sith, the Harry Potter movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the Spider-Man movies, like all of it was so exciting, and it was just, I think that's part of why
we really did we got a lot of great movies growing up. I mean, it was incredible.
I mean, I got to say High School Musical 3 in theaters when I was a senior in high school.
I was always so mad because I remember when that movie came out in theaters, my dad wouldn't go take me until like well after it was in theaters. So I did get to see it on the big screen, thankfully, but it was like a month after it released. So
we went because my little sister wanted to go.
Which we were
for High School Musical.
We wanted to go, but she was going for a birthday party, wasn't she? And we went along.
No, we would not let her come with us. But then my brother.
Is that what happened?
But then Steven, our older brother,
took her that same night.
He's like, I'm gonna take her to the movies that same night, and I was like, you little, because we went with our friends.
That's right.
I love that. I love you got to go whatever way is possible. You got to make it happen. Okay, I want to.
What's your thoughts on? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's your thoughts on? I was gonna move on to Marvel, but I was gonna say, what's your highest anticipated movie either for this year? But then I was gonna say mine is Fantastic Four. But
so we're probably I'm probably y'all's third twin because I have the synergy. Because I was literally about to ask you guys. We're gonna go into like rapid fire, and I was gonna ask you guys what you guys were most anticipating the next few months.
Oh, look at us.
Oh,
So,
Fantastic
look at us.
Four.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect. Yes, Fantastic Four this summer is my most anticipated movie. I am very, very excited. I'm excited about Superman. I'm excited about Jurassic World
Yeah.
Rebirth.
Same.
Of course. But
I'm excited for Elio.
Yeah.
That looks so cute.
looks
Elio
so
is so
good.
cute. I've seen 25 minutes of it. I love the 25 minutes I saw. It is so much more emotionally.
I'm
touch.
so excited.
Is
than
it
people
Pixar or
realize.
Walt Disney?
No, it's
animation.
Pixar.
It is
It's
Pixar.
Pixar, okay,
It is so like.
The press that they've done around it, like the little videos, like him doing like little like TikToks, but like it's so cute.
It's so
I was like,
cute. I'm
God,
telling
thank
you guys,
for this.
you guys are going to be blindsided by just the emotional journey of this movie.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's so I'm so excited for it. I already have my tickets. I'm ready. But yes, Fantastic Four is my most anticipated movie of the summer. My most anticipated movie of the year is probably Wicked for Good.
Me too. Same.
I am very very pumped
I just
for
got
it.
chills.
It's just
so
it's so
excited.
beautifully done, and it's something
The
like my wife
trailer.
is really excited about. So it's like a movie we're both highly
Yeah.
anticipating together, which is always really really exciting and honestly kind of rare.
Yeah.
Like she gets excited about Marvel movies and like Avatar, Fire and Ash too. Like don't get me
Same.
wrong.
I'm excited
but,
for that,
like,
too.
I'm so excited for that too.
Wicked for Good is the only one where like we're already talking about how we're so excited to go see it multiple times. Like we're both like really really like heightened in on it.
I want to see a double feature.
I know. I
do
want to see it back to
too.
back.
I
I
do
want to see
too.
it back to back. I think that'd be really fun. I don't want to see that for the first time. I think the first time it needs to be its own entity.
I agree. I agree
But
with
then
that.
I'm excited. I hope they do some double features, which the hype around this movie is so big. that
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
I'm a
assume that
They are
they'll
gonna milk
it.
it. They're milking it for all it's worth.
Which I mean, I'm not mad about it.
No, same.
All right, so I have two more questions for you guys.
Yes.
And then I think my voice is literally gonna go away.
Gonna go out. Yeah.
First one. We're about halfway through the year now. What has been y'all's favorite movie of the year?
Oh, probably
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts for me. Yeah.
Thunderbolts is a good one. That is a
Dude.
good answer.
I
did not
loved the
expect
emotional.
it. I did not
through
expect
line.
to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be kind of like don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed Eternals, but I kind of expected it to
You're
be
probably
another
the
one
first
of those.
person who's ever said that to me, by the way.
You know, I know that it has a lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed this like idea of like these secret people and like the shadows kind of like controlling a narrative. But I'm not like I didn't know the comics. I don't know a lot of that stuff, and so I didn't really. It didn't have the emotional connection, and then all of the backlash from the movie obviously makes you feel a little bit like, well, what did I see what's wrong with me?
It
I
is
guess I
very
kinda
like
enjoy that, you know?
cinematic. Like it is like beautiful. Again, it's one of those movies that has a beautiful production. It's a phenomenal cast. It is
Yeah.
very cinematic. It just
Yeah.
I think the reason people disconnect from Eternals is just because the tone is so different.
Yes.
Yeah.
than
It
the rest
doesn't
of it.
feel like a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like it does kind of almost feel like Whiplash too, because you got to think about when it released. So September
that's
that year
true.
was Shang-Chi.
Which was so good.
Then it was November Eternals, and then December Spider-Man No Way Home. And
Yeah,
So it was
got
like
a
sandwiched between
lot.
two really good ones. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was a lot happening, and
That's
it was
right.
sandwiched between two movies that were completely different in tone and more
Yeah.
traditional in the Marvel sense. And so, like, I
Yeah.
think it was just
Two
a
of my
lot
favorites.
for people to kind of really focus in on.
True, but I was saying I liked it, but it again it's a little bit forgettable, and that's what I thought Thunderbolts was going to be. I don't know why. Just going in, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Eternals, like no one's gonna care. And
I
then
kind
we-
of thought it was going to go along the same lines of Suicide Squad, so I was kind of like, okay, we've seen this, we've done that, okay.
Yeah.
But then we went into it, and I like weeped. I was like, this.
Yeah, I did not
I
expect
love
it
to
to
see
be-
an emotional, like the actual trauma of what these heroes go through, and especially the assassins. I mean, like you look at these, like Black Widow never really got that like depression arc, which I was like, girl, like you've been.
because Black Widow kind of flopped, I think, because it didn't have that. Like
Yeah.
that gave
Yeah,
it.
there wasn't
you
there
know,
wasn't
like-
any of the human element. It was just kind of
Yeah.
like, I mean, the
Because I
human
really
piece
wanted
of
that to
Black
do
Widow
well.
was still Yelena, and
Yeah.
still Yelena.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't really like her journey necessarily.
Yeah, it was an
was
introduction
just-
for these new characters.
Yeah.
Which I really like, honestly, in a lot of ways, like the beautiful part of Thunderbolts is the reality of it in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. And I love that
I love that Bob is like an anti-hero hero, like
Yeah.
where it's like you have this tortured. The Void is also the villain. You know, like the Void is Bob, but Bob
For
is
sure.
also Bob. You know, so you
Bob is
have
Bob.
Bob is
Bob is
Bob,
Bob.
but Bob is also the void, which I think it gives. I cannot wait to see more of all of them, and that's another thing I didn't necessarily know I would come away with. Like I'm so excited to see where they go.
But I also thought they did a really good job. Like they did a really good job at separating and creating really distinct identities for each of these characters. When like I even think back to like Suicide Squad, and they probably did a decent job making distinct unit, but it all blends together to me. It like nothing worked in that movie for me except the color palette. I did think that the paint splatter everywhere was so good, but I love a good visual moment. But the thing about Thunderbolts that I thought was so good is that everybody had a distinct character and motive that they were figuring out during this movie. And it is Yelena's story, but it's got like really clear defined paths for everyone in the story, so the ensemble works, whereas I feel like some ensemble movies really struggle to find that balance.
I'm really grateful they made Yelena like the main person you're seeing the whole storyline through, because it does give it purpose. Like this is a main character. It's not just an ensemble movie.
Yeah,
it is an ensemble movie, but you have a focus, you know, and it is the story of her and Bob, and the story of recovery.
It's just beautifully written.
Great.
Just all around beautifully written,
So
beautifully shot. Everything's practical. Everything is, real life. It's not like it's the biggest criticism with Marvel these days is like CGI, and that's something like the movie doesn't even give you a chance to like try to be negative in that way, which is so
even
good.
like the animation for the shadows are it's a frame and a half ish. Is it for 2.5 frames or a frame and a half that they gave it so that you see the progress in a frame. Like your brain doesn't function, it doesn't like click that far, but if you did 2.5 it starts to look like a crossfade, whereas a 1.5 looks like ambiguous. And it's like, I'm sorry. The special effects stuff gets me. I love it. I wanted to go into special effects when I was in high school.
I didn't know this like side of you, which is really exciting. So like, next time I see you, we're going to be talking about.
We'll be gabbing.
Yeah, we'll be gabbing.
Okay, my last question before we go, and this is going to be a little bit more of a rapid fire. I want to know y'all's best twins in Hollywood history. Not like fictional characters, like movies, TV shows, whatever it is. Who are the best twins? Y'all's Mount Rushmore of twins.
Fred George Weasley, man.
Dude, Fred George Weasley, of course.
But I also love.
And
they were at Epic Universe opening day.
I guess
I wasn't invited. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not mad. No, my favorite. Well, no, Fred George for sure, but I definitely love the Parent Trap. So I think that's like a fake twin, but
yeah,
I know it's a faux twin.
Love that.
Yeah, the Parker twins, love them.
The original and the Lindsay Lohan. I love them.
Also, the twins from The Shining, I think, are iconic in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
They get very little screen time, but I just think that they're so iconic, and the few moments that we see of them, it's like
it's unnerving and it's perfect.
I know,
it's like perfectly unnerving.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get asked. It's weird. Like recently in the last year, we've been asked every time we walk outside. We live downtown, so every time we walk outside, every time, and I mean like every time. Sometimes it's twice or 3 times a time. We're like walking to the gym, which is 3 blocks away. We got asked this morning, "Are y'all twins?" And I get frustrated with the question because it's like, well, yeah, obviously, but like, why did you feel the need to ask? Like, what does that mean confirming that we're twins do for you? I guess I don't know.
I do think it is similar to the Shining twins, where it is unnerving to see adult.
Yeah, we're adult 32-year-old
men that are walking in sync down the road. Like there is something about that is slightly unnerving and is shocking, and therefore demands a question.
Yeah,
I think even if they know the answer.
Yeah. Somebody asked us from across the street, like,
"Are you guys twins?
Are y'all twins?"
Yeah, they love it.
I mean, yeah.
And then a lady in the elevator last night was like, "These are my favorite twins," and I was like, "Oh, thanks."
She gets it. She gets it. I think the only thing I think you guys are right on it. I'm stuck with like if there's 4 spots, I'm stuck with the last one because my nostalgia, Zach and Cody. So we have Zach and Cody.
Oh, of course,
was huge for me.
Gosh, those were iconic for us too.
Did you see it? We choreographed their theme song.
I love that. And then, but also like in the broader scope of things, do Twin 1 and Twin 2 have an argument from Dr. Seuss?
I mean, that's true. Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Yeah.
So,
Thing
but
1
also
and Thing 2. That's what
no,
it is.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You're fine.
But yeah, Thing 1 and Thing 2. But I also think there's just so many. It's interesting. Twins are very rarely cast. So for us, when we were in musical theater, the hard part for us was to get cast. We didn't really want to do different shows because our work's obviously together. So for us to be at rehearsals, for hours and hours every week, it doesn't really make sense for us to also like to do different shows. It makes sense to be at the show together, but whatever. So what they'll generally do is you're never cast as twins. There's very few rules for twins.
Right.
So they cast you as ensemble members and they put you on both sides of the stage. And then every once in a while, you'll get to dance next to each other and you'll hear a gasp in the audience. And it is a really funny thing.
Gasp.
We did the show, Curtains, and in it one time, we were always on different sides of the stage. And then this one time, we're in a line and the line collapses into a circle. And so we're in the front, but our back is to the audience. And then the girl is singing and we're around her. And then at one part, we all look at the audience with our butts like sticking out and you do a little jazz hand moment. And there was just this audible gasp in the audience when it's like, because Luke and I were next to each other. Yeah,
we stole the show.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
For that second.
Yeah, for that 1 second.
I mean, it is interesting. The
the
twin phenomena is definitely weird, and I think people do think that. I think sometimes in our comments people are like, "Do y'all have your own lives?" And we're like, "Not really, actually." But
we work all the time.
Would you want it that way?
No,
You know?
I would not want.
No.
It's crazy. You were saying this about earlier in the call. Obviously, you said that. Your wife is like your comfort blanket. There's like a level, it allows you to be more extroverted because you have this backup. We call it the best friend effect, but it's like a psychological effect. When you have like a best friend, you're way more willing to put yourself out there because you have a fallback. If everyone rejects you, you have a fallback. And I think that we have that in each other, and that is, no matter what, I have somebody to fall back on.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
I could be on the street and somebody could tell me I look like a dumb fucking idiot, and you're like dancing outside, and I don't have to worry about them because I know that there's a person standing next to me that has my back.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes it easier to go outside and dance. Like if I was by myself, I wouldn't dance outside. I don't think I ever would. But like because there's two of us, it's like, oh yeah, well
I've got a backup.
I got a backup. Screw you. Like
It's not a big deal. So I do think that there is, but then people find that relationship, I think, like they don't always understand that, and I think that's
either they find it compelling or odd. There's really no in between. It's like either like something that they're compelled to be a part of or they're repelled by it.
But I think that that's why it's fun to see them in cinema. I think with the Fred George Weasley effect, I love that they're initially, and even Dave said this, but like they were written to be like the same person, just two of them, and which is not normal. Usually you will have some differentiate. Like we look at the Parent Trap and they're very different,
Right.
but the same.
This was supposed to be a rapid fire question. You got us talking.
It's all like really good.
We don't know what
You
rapid fire is.
ultimately, and just to truly wrap things up, I think this conversation in general was just such a fun, unique conversation that like covered a bit of about it covered a little bit of everything in this space, and you guys are such a fun energy, like I said in the video, in person, in your content, and just in this episode alone. It's just a fun, it's so easy to get lost in a conversation with you guys.
Thanks.
So I cannot thank you guys enough.
Of course.
And just a reminder, everything in this, if you've watched it all the way through here, if you're on YouTube watching this, whether you're seeing clips on shorts or TikTok, not Reels because I'm not monetized on Reels, but for
Neither
TikTok
is anybody
and Shorts, and hopefully eventually, if you're listening to this on podcast platforms, all the revenue, all the money that we do raise just by having this wonderful conversation together is going to be donated. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really grateful for y'all's time to kind of contribute to this, because ultimately I just wanted to do something nice with the platform that I have. And I just think this is a really special way to do it. So I cannot thank you guys enough for doing this. Is there a charity that you guys, and it's okay if you don't know this yet, I can promote this later, but is there a charity that you guys would love the funds from this episode to go to?
I'm really not well versed, unfortunately. That's not something. But I mean, if you have one that you love, I mean, anything that can be. We love to bring the arts to low income. So if there's anything there where it's a charity, there's a lot of them.
Well, because even Starlight over here has scholarships that you can donate to.
Yeah,
that help underprivileged kids do the arts.
I mean, honestly, anything. Feed the there's so many. Anything.
All right.
Honestly,
we can listen. I like the idea of, just because this was such a creative conversation, of trying to find something that does inspire creativity and give kids opportunities to maybe even do the thing that we do,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll look for it. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, if you already know a great one. Well, thank you guys again so much. And to everyone listening, I will see you for the next episode. I love you all. Sincerely, your movie friend.